ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation has been providing quality electric service at a competitive price to residential, commercial, and industrial customers in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida since 1939. For tips and advice on how to save electricity and stretch your energy dollars, call 1-800-262-5131 and speak to your marketing representative. We are a cooperative owned by those we serve.
Hey Indian fans, did you know you're eligible to join the United First Federal Credit Union? We are your hometown financial institution offering services such as online banking, mobile deposit, free checking, and much more. And if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, our auto loan rates start as low as 2.99 for those who qualify. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. Federally insured by NCUA and equal housing lender.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away.
Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Mack Show 2018 Pierce County Wheat Pre-Season Special. Coach, it's been almost a year. Well, it's been a little less than a year now. Football's back in full swing.
It's good to be back. It's back in the grind of getting ready for to play football each and every week, and hopefully we can put together something that's going to be worth watching.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. My schedule adjusted some in the off season. I didn't get to follow you all around during the summer like I normally have in the past, but I got to go to one, and I tell you what, you guys look good. You look good.
Well, this summer we were able to do a little bit of passing, and we also do some padded camps, and there were some things that really looked good. Of course, some of our skilled guys, I think, are a little bit further along than what we thought they might be, so we're real pleased with that. We came out of spring. We're going back to spring. We had a really good spring, I thought, and of course we had a really good spring scrimmage, and then we got into our summer program, and I thought our summer program was okay. We've had worse, we've had better, but I thought it was okay, and now that we've got the pads on, and now that we're getting ready, had our soap game last night, and now we're getting ready to go into kind of game prep, getting ready for the scrimmage against Pierce County. There are some spots on our football team that we have some real concerns about, but there's also some real bright spots. We feel like that if we can I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. If we can get our offensive line, caught up and where they need to be, I feel like we can have a nice football team. But that's going to be our biggest concern right now is our offensive line, and if we can get that position going, I think we can have a lot of fun this year.
I know we did the soap game. It's tape delayed. We'll release it after the Pierce scrimmage, like we talked about before in the earlier in the year. But last night, defense, large senior group on the defensive side of the ball. They looked really good last night.
I think our defense is just about all but two, maybe seniors. And on the offensive side of the ball, I think it's everybody but maybe 3 or 4. But it's a big senior class. We have, I think, 20 seniors. A lot of those guys have won starting jobs, or they're just about to win starting positions, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You'd like for whenever your guys, get to be seniors, that they've won those spots and they're dominating play on both sides of the ball. It makes it tough for the next year when you need a whole new group to step up. But for this year, we have some seniors doing a great job. Raekwon Anderson, no question, he's somebody that we're going to talk a lot about this year, and deservedly so. What a preseason All-State athlete, and then also Bryant Sloan. Bryant Sloan, number 22, preseason All-State tight end. Another guy that we're going to be talking a lot about. But I think as the year goes on, the strength of our football team may be our defensive line, which is good. I mean, we've had really good defensive lines in the past, and that's really, we built our defense around that group, and this year's no different. Our defensive line has a chance to be really good. And all 4 of those guys are seniors. Sometimes we play with 3, sometimes we play with 4, and we even have a junior, Preston Lynch, who comes off the bench and gives us gives us some good play there. Defensively, our secondary, some concerns there. Linebacker group, kind of in the middle. Needs to get better, but it's not too bad. So defensive line good. Linebackers kind of so-so. Secondary, we need a lot of work. On the offensive side of the ball, Michael Elliott doing a really good job at running back.
He had a big game in the spring game.
Big game in the spring game. Real big game in the spring game. He's got put on a lot of good muscle weight, and he's really hungry to run the football. And then also, wide receivers, we're losing a couple of those guys, but then we got some other guys that have been stepping up. Clark, number 3, he's been doing pretty good. But on offense, it comes down to we got to get those 5 guys up front. We got to get the 5 guys up front going. And if we can get those guys going, then offensively, I think we can do some really good things.
Yeah, everything will gel around that line.
But right now, our focus, everything, coming out of the soap game, the quarterback center exchange was awful. And then we feel like our offensive tackle play needs a lot of work. At offensive guards, Khalil Burrows, number 55, he's a sophomore, I believe, maybe junior. And then the other offensive guard, Grayson Carter, he's a junior. Our offensive guards, we feel like is the strength of our offensive line. We need to improve on their center play, need to improve on our tackle play. We're probably working 4 or 5 guys at the tackle positions right now, trying to find that guy, trying to find those 2 guys that are going to step up and do a good job for the offense. And center, we really have 2 guys right now, Chris Rawls and Nolan Crawford. Those 2 guys are working at center. And that's the big thing with kids this age, is to get them to really understand competition. A lot of times they've come up through the ranks and they've been either the best player or they've just understood that, well, I'm the next guy that goes in, or things like that. But you get to this level, you need kids to really compete for playing time, compete for spots. And we're not in a position where we're just going to give somebody playing time or give somebody a starting spot because they're a senior. They've got to really work at it and compete for it for them to get it.
I know, particularly in this region, when you got Clinch and Irwin right there, Telfair, Turner, they're all this region is brutal every year.
A lot of people talk about Region 1, 7A, and they're good. It's a very good region, but there's a lot of tough regions in this state. A lot of people can claim that they're the toughest region in this state, but not a lot of regions has your first place team. Your state champions come out of it. Your state runner-ups come out of it. And Elite 8 team come out of it. That was us. So it's a tough region. And those guys ain't waiting around letting you catch up. They're getting better themselves. I think Clinch County can be better. I think Irvin County can be better. And so we've got to be better just to keep the pace. And you mentioned people like Telfair and Telfair's better. Irwin, Atkinson County, I know they're better. Wilcox has a new coach. So everybody in our region, I think, is on the way up and headed in that direction. And we've got to make sure we're one of them and head that direction also.
I know. We'll go back to the offensive line for just a minute, Coach. You said you mentioned number 55, Burrows. Is that the younger brother of Tion up there? Younger
brother of Tion. Younger brother of Adam Davis. All of them wore 55. So
there's some lineage there.
Yeah. All of them wore 55. All of them, the older two played college football, and Khalil has a chance to be one of those kind of guys. He's a wonderful kid, first of all.
Yeah.
He's just one of the most polite, likable guys you're ever going to be around. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Khalil Burrows. If you don't like Khalil, that's more your problem than his. He's a wonderful kid, and he has gotten better every year. He's gotten a lot better in the spring. He had a good spring game. And thinking back, he is a sophomore, not a junior. And he's going to be.
So you're going to have him for 3 more years.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be a possible college level offensive lineman. He's a good football player, and he's really, for his size, for being over 300 pounds, he's got some really good feet. And Grayson Carter, the other offensive guard, he started last year and even played some as a freshman. He's a junior. I really look at Grayson as the leader of the offensive line. When I talk about leadership in a particular unit, he's who I think about, and he's who I talk to about the offensive line. And just because he's a junior doesn't mean he can't be the leader. He has taken the most snaps and has by far the most starts of any offensive lineman we have. So he's the leader of that group.
He's been out there since 2016. Right?
That's right, and so he's going. I look for him to have a great year. He's only getting better. This offseason, he's dropped some weight. Still works hard in the weight room. Smart kid, very smart kid. So I look for both of those offensive guards to really be all-region, with that first-team all-region type players. I really believe that. And again, we keep harping on it, but our center play, our offensive tackle play, we get those positions going. We get what we need out of those. It can be a good unit, because 2 of the 5 are already good. We got to get the other 3 caught up, and if we do, I think our offense, we are probably as multiple right now as we've ever been. With AJ, we were multiple there. AJ ran the ball, he got out of the pocket, and of course he could throw the ball anywhere and put it where it needs to go. Raekwon can do some of the same things, but Raekwon is a real difference maker when he runs the football and the threat to run the football. So it's going to be exciting watching him play the quarterback position. And, of course, you focus on him. We've got Michael Elliott doing a great job at running back.
He really is.
And of course, our slot and our flank receivers who will get involved in the running game also are also kids that can run well. But it keeps going back to that offensive line. We've got to
it starts there.
It starts and ends there. It really does. And I truly believe, and it sounds like I'm putting a lot on them, and I am. But that group right there has got to come through for us for us to have a good year. I really believe that.
Going back to the Soap game last night, we talk about our 2 preseason All-State players, Raquan and Brantley, on Recruit Georgia. They hooked up 3 times last night. I believe it was 3 times for huge gains.
Yeah.
Brantley, great hands. 6'4", 215.
Yeah, he's about 6'4", 215. He's a 4.0 student. He's 4.0 high school. He's 4.0 college. He takes college classes already. He's all-state singer. He's one of the best high school actors we have. He's an all-around guy. Brantley Sloan is, of course.
Roger, have any more kids coming up?
I wish Roger and Sherry had about 14 more youngins coming through, because the ones they've sent through here have been incredible young men. And they deserve a lot of credit.
First-class kids.
They deserve a lot of credit because so many of our kids are just reflection of where they come from and who raised them. And you see that in Brantley. He was raised real well by Roger and Sherry Sloan. But those two did hook up. Brantley runs great routes. He understands. We tell our receivers, your speed is not necessarily what gets you open. The route gets you open. You run the route right, and you press. You have the right leverage on the first part of your route. You'll be open on the second part of your route. We talk a lot about that, and he understands that. He's smart enough to understand that, so he's open quite a bit. And he's a big target. And Raekwon and AJ found him a lot last year. And Raekwon, he found him he found him in the spring game, and he also found him in the soap game we had last night. Other guys, Keyshawn Williamson started last year at wide receiver. We need a big year from him. So those guys really, I think, are coming along the way they should. And don't get me wrong, with the great athlete that Raekwon is, we still want to have a good passing attack. He has a great arm, and he can make some really nice throws. He can throw it as deep as you want it, and he can put it on people. So we don't want Raekwon just to be that one-dimensional, one-dimensional running quarterback. Right. We want him to be an all-around quarterback, and we work hard on it. If you watch our practices, you'll probably see us throw the ball more in practice than we do working on the running game in practice. Because that's a part of the game I think we need to work on a lot more, and it's a part of the game that we want to be able to go to anytime we want.
Yeah, so when these defenses come in here, that mentality is to focus on Raekwon and the run, but you're not going to be able to do that.
Not at all, and we want to be very multiple and on offense, and when we say multiple and we say balanced, what we're meaning is not 50-50. We mean we want to be able to go to it when we need to go to it. Right. We don't want to be have our one hand tied behind our back and say we can't do that. We need to do this, but we can't do this. We want to be able to do it when we need to do it, when we want to do it, and we want to be offensively. We want to be difficult to defend. I think everybody. That's no secret. Everybody wants to be difficult to defend, but the more things we can do well, the harder it is to defend us. So we're big into the RPO. We did a lot of RPOs the last 2 years. AJ and Raekwon were fantastic in the RPO game. Did a great job. But we also want to be big in the run game and be able to run the ball a lot of different ways, block it a lot of different ways, and we're also working on different phases of RPOs is something that's it's the big thing everybody's talking about on TV, and now the NFL is even getting into them. College seems like a lot of things start at the high school level, and then it goes to the college level, and then finally the NFL says, well, that's something that we can even implement, and RPOs is something that's a lot more than just run pass option to your splits and all that, and your flankers and your slots. You can also do it on the inside pass game, and that's something we've been working on hard during the off season.
I know you never want to give too much away and show your hand. I noticed flashes of a little bit of the different runs you had in store last night, different things with Saquon and Michael.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of secrets now with huddle and with everything going to be online and that sort of thing. It ain't going to take long. I think after Friday night, everybody's going to know what everybody else is pretty much doing and that sort of thing. But we've got a lot of things implemented in our offensive package, from the vertical game to the play action to the RPOs, run game, run reads, and so forth. There's just a lot of things we can do, but none of that means anything if you can't block the guy in front of you.
It goes back to that offensive line.
It goes back to those one-on-one matchups, and even four guys can do a great job. At that one guy, we have a breakdown, the play can be over right there. So it's the most important position on the field. In the game of football, you'll hear a lot of people say, would you rather have a great running back, a great quarterback? I want to be really good. I'd like to be great on the line of scrimmage, both lines of scrimmage, offensive line, defensive line. You're going to win a lot of football games if you're good there, and that's where we want to be good, and that's where we put a lot of emphasis on that and practice. Coach Woods is coaching the defensive line. He has it pretty good right now. He's got 4 or 5 really good ones. Yeah. Coach Murray is a fantastic football coach. He's been coaching my offensive line all through the state championship years. He's had state champion offensive linemen. He's had offensive linemen play college football. I'll tell you, he works hard. He gets after it. He works hard, and he has his work cut out for him. And he's our most important football coach on our staff, in my opinion, is Coach Murray with the offensive line. And that offensive line right now is our most crucial position. We have to get in, and if you watched the Soap game close, you saw a couple freshmen actually go out there with the first group, get some work. We even had a backup running back go out and play some offensive line. We're looking for people that's going to help the Indians be successful. And like I told the players, I said, we love y'all, all of you, and we appreciate all of you, but we've got to find the people. It's time. You're at that age where you need to understand that you've got to work hard to get what you want, and you've got to beat people out. There's competition. You're going to have competition for the rest of your life.
It's not rec ball anymore.
It's not rec ball anymore. It's not even junior high ball where there's no more fifth quarters where everybody gets to play. It's we've got to put our best players on the field, and we've got to compete at a high level because the people on our schedule will require us to play at a high level.
They're going to bring their best
each and every week.
Each and every week, no doubt about it. I wanted to bring up one young man that caught my eye last night. Let me see if I pronounce his name. DeVegas Austin. He had a circus catch from Aquan down the sideline, I think, for about 45-yard reception. DeVegas
Austin, his dad played for us, DeMario, during the state championship years. He's one of those second-generation Indians. He's a senior wide receiver, also defensive back. Also, he's going to help us in the return game when people are kicking away from Raekwon. He's going to be that guy that we're going to try to put in position to possibly return some punts and kicks for us also. He's not a real big fella, but he's tough. He's tough, just like his dad, DeMario, was tough. And
good hands.
Good hands. Good hands. His dad was a fullback linebacker for me, and he's a wide receiver. We got him playing in what we call our F receiver, which we'll get him involved in the run games now, the jet sweeps, the RPOs, and also his position requires him to run really every route on the passing tree. He's doing a good job. He's a really great kid, very likable, and he's one of those kids. He wants his football team to be successful, and he's willing to do what it takes to be successful. So we're real excited about him and what he brings to us.
Coach, I know we usually do the senior spotlight with 20 seniors. I thought we'd start next week. I'll have highlights and everything for everybody,
Yeah.
And I think we'll do, if we don't have any hurricanes, I think we'll do two a night, Coach.
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
That'll be all right?
Yep.
All right, let's dive into Pierce County a little bit. I know we faced them a little bit in some passing competitions in the offseason. I know they have a tall task. They have to replace Stetson Bennett at quarterback. That's no easy task.
Well, Stetson's been gone for 2 years now.
Yeah, that's right. He has been
last year they started a freshman quarterback, and when we scrimmaged Pierce County last year, it might have been their first football game with the new coaching staff. Jason Strickland and his new staff were there.
That's right.
And I knew that, and Jason knew that it was going to be, there's going to be some growing pains. Anytime there's a new staff and you implement a new offense, new defense, really a whole new culture. And we were able to play well. We were a little bit further ahead than they were. And Jason's one of my best friends. He was one of my former assistant coaches during the state championship years, and he's to me, he's like a brother to me. Him and I talk very regularly. We talk about football. We talk. He's one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best high school football coaches I know. I think he's going to go down to one of the greatest. I think he's going to be a Hall of Fame football coach in the state of Georgia.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think Pierce County really, in my opinion, hit the jackpot when they got him. When Coach Pender left and they were looking for a coach, I think they couldn't have got a better football coach.
He was at Fitz, right?
Yeah, he was at Fitzgerald, took them to 2 state championships in a row, did an incredible job there. And you know, for some coaches, not all coaches are like me who just come somewhere and stay for their whole career. You know, he likes challenges and he accepts challenges and been a couple different places, but Pierce County is as lucky as can be to have him, and I think they know that. I really do. I had a chance to see them later in the year. We had an open week, so my wife and I, we loaded up and went and watched Pierce County play Brantley County, a big rival game up there, and it was nowhere near the same Pierce County football team that we saw early in the year. You could see where those kids were being coached hard, and it was a much, much better football team. I believe they took it 2 rounds in the playoffs with a freshman quarterback and a new system, which is a great job by them and their coaching staff. Now this year it's going to be much different. That quarterback's going to be a seasoned veteran, one more year under his belt. Their offensive line is tremendous. Their center has offers from Auburn, South Carolina, and other SEC, ACC schools. He's a big time. He's going to be the best center that we're going to face all year long. As a unit, that offensive line may be the best unit, offensive line unit we're going to see all year long. So it's going to be a great challenge. We feel like our defensive line's pretty good. I know that their offensive line is really good.
It's going to be a classic battle then.
And I know that they're a very, very well-coached football team. They run the hybrid wing tee. They give you some different formational looks. They give you some different strengths. You know, they're going to run the sweeps. They're going to run the inside game, the traps, and that sort of thing. And they will throw the football. And a team that runs the ball as well as them, when they do throw it, it makes you look bad because there's probably going to be a tight end going down the middle of the field wide open. It makes you look bad.
Catch everybody keying on the run.
And that's right. And their nose guard's a big old guy, and their D-line's good. Linebackers, they're solid all across the board. And you know that their special teams will be well coached. I know they've lost, and it just really, you hate to hear them lose any player go down to injury. I mean, that's the worst part of this game is injuries. I know they've lost a defensive lineman who is a senior, and that's about as bad as it gets in high school football when a kid's getting ready for a senior year and goes out with a knee injury, out for the year. So I hate that for Jason, and I especially hate it for the player, and I hate it for their program, and you wish that on nobody. But the kids they have, that defensive linebacker group is very, very good, very solid. It's going to be a really good test for us. I hope we can give them a good look. I hope we're playing better than we were in the soap game. The soap game, we didn't play very well. A lot of things, there was a pile of things we have to correct. Today during film, we probably spent over an hour watching the soap scrimmage with the players, and it got loud in there with the coaches. We had to drive the point home to them that this thing is all about improvement. It's all about getting better each and every week. When we were one of these state championship football teams that you see up here on the wall, it was all about getting better every week. And it's crucial now more than ever that we simply get better each and every week. Hopefully Friday we're better than we were Monday, and then the following week we travel to Frederica Academy. We hope to be better there.
That one counts.
And that one counts. That's regular season game and regular season opener. So hopefully we just simply are better this week than we were last week.
All right, Coach. We've got anything else you want to hit on? I know we're going to get it. We always mention a fundraiser. Oh, the Braves. I can't even forget about the Braves. They had a fantastic showing on offense last night.
They did. That's a really good group. Larry Carter, Brian Lloyd and Chris Kraft, the coaches down there. It's a three-man coaching staff. They coach it all, and they do a great job. And that's a nice little group down there. Now, there's not a lot of size to them, not a lot of height to them, but it's a very good little athletic group. There's not a lot of them down there right now. One school, I know with our junior high, we have that group that we go the summer with. And then once school starts up, then we start getting more kids out for about a week or two, because transportation is always an issue with that age of kids. So sometimes you got to rely on the bus to get them to practice, and they don't have any other way. But that is a really nice group down there. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. They're going to start their season. They start off this Saturday. This Saturday they're going to travel to Camden County. I think you might have seen it on Facebook. I think just about everybody that watches Charlton County football follows is on Facebook and your site and my site, and get a lot of Charlton County football information there. But they'll start off with a scrimmage on this Saturday. I believe they start at 10:30 in the morning. They'll have 2 scrimmages, and then they'll be done. And then they go again the following week on the 14th. They'll go against with Camden County, I believe, right here. Our B team schedule will get started soon on the 23rd at Ware County.
Up at Ware.
Up at Ware County. Then after that, we're going to have 4 in a row, 4 B team games in a row right here. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think our B team group, kind of excited about that, because we have a big freshman group, and that freshman group is a pretty good group, and we're going to turn those guys loose on B team. And I think you're going to see them getting better. And there is a few of those guys that I feel like that are going to be pushing for varsity time before the year's over. I really believe that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You always like to see that with the younger crowd. I know a couple of years ago we had a little bit of a smaller group, but it seems to be cycling back around. You know how Class A ball, these numbers kind of cycle.
Yeah.
And it's coming back around now. I know the little guys out here, Glover brothers. He's got 60-something kids out here practicing right next to the tribe. That's great.
Tonight we had to go a little later because we had film. We're at one end of the field with our 70 kids, and like you said, the Glover brothers, former players of mine, who have their own youth program, little travel football program. They had 60 of them down there in pads going at it. So it was really neat. You see these kids who are seniors, all the way down to kids, I think, in the
Isn't that awesome?
3rd and 4th grade down there playing tackle football. And that's great, and that's the way it should be. And I know that a lot of places in the country, tackle football is having some struggles right now. But hopefully we can keep it strong in Charlton County, and it pays off down the road.
It does, and it was an awesome sight. I was sitting out here watching y'all practice, and like you said, watching the little guys down there, and it just stair-stepped all the way up.
That's right.
All the way up to the senior. All right, Coach, we've got, I know we have some fundraising coming up. We just did the scorecards.
Scorecards were fantastic. Our kids did a great job with that. All that money for those scorecards, the discount cards, goes to the quarterback club. And this year our kids sold 300 more cards than they did a year ago, which is fantastic. Awesome. And a year ago we did really well. And I thought if we could match last year, we'd done great. But our kids just blew it out of the water with 300 more cards than they did a year ago. And we still have some of those. Judy Ray, one of our senior football parents, she'll be at the front gate this Friday. She'll have old jerseys. We got some old jerseys we don't use anymore. We're selling them for I think only $10. We actually have some Jacksonville Jaguar practice jerseys that they gave us. We sell some of them, I believe, only for $10. You might be able to find your favorite player in there with his name on the back of his jersey. We also have some nice T-shirts that we gave the kids, some Charlton County football T-shirts with a saying on the back, and we're selling those down there. And we'll have scorecards, and we're also selling chances to a University of Georgia fire pit. We're selling chances on that. So hopefully we'll have people will come with some extra money, and also we're selling. We're trying to get members to the quarterback club. Last few years we haven't really had much membership. We've had some years where our membership was 0, But we're trying to build that up a little bit, and it's $50 for the year. You get a hat for it, and your money goes right back to the kids, whether it's equipment, feeding the kids, something along that lines. So we really hope people would step up and can be tax deductible donations to the quarterback club. Again, all that money, 100% of that money goes right back to, like I said, the kids. Yeah, and this things in here, and of course it's a fundraiser that will never end, and that's the plaques that go in the lockers. We have really nice memorial plaques or in honor of plaques that are in all these lockers that a lot of the kids really look at, and they'll be there forever. These are great lockers. These lockers are built to last, and we're still trying to pay them off. We've been on it for a long time. It was an expensive loan the quarterback club had to go out and get to get these lockers, and hopefully we're getting close. I think this may be the year. This may be the year, Coach. Maybe the year we pay off that loan and on these lockers. But we really encourage people to, if they're interested, for $200 you get a plaque made any way you want, anything on it you want, and it'll be up in that locker forever. And it's a great memorial or a great honor of a former player, anyone really. We have a lot of different kinds of plaques up. So if you're interested in that, just get a hold of me and we'll get that taken care of.
I know I see sometimes on Facebook people say, oh, quarterback club's got all this kind of money, blah, blah, blah. These things right here are what, $300, $400 a piece?
300 plus. They really are. The quarterback club, when it comes to money, and I think all booster clubs are like this, we start off the year at really zero. We're not in the business to keep money, to make money. We're in the business of putting money back into the kids, whether it's the weight room. Every weight in our weight room was bought, not by the school, it was bought by the quarterback club. Our quarterback club had to buy all the weights in the weight room. Our quarterback club bought the blocking sleds we have. They bought these lockers and the video equipment we use, the computers we use, and things like that. In the summertime, we send kids to camps. We go to camps. You got to feed kids. You got to get them fluids. Quarterback club takes care of all that. We have a few kids that get invited for visits to camps. Quarterback club helps out with that. So right now we are getting some money in with the scorecards and the program, the ads in the program, selling the programs. Programs will be out. The Brantley County game, August 24th. It's always the nicest program you're going to see anywhere. But again, a donation to the quarterback club is a donation to our kids. Right. And again, like the old saying goes, our kids are our future, and we're trying to develop some young men in here, and it's a good investment, I believe. I believe it's a good investment, and not just our booster club. We have a fantastic group of young ladies who play softball and who are very good. Their booster club, they do great things. And a lot of their money has to go to their facilities and their jerseys and different things like that, and our Diamond Club and our Dugout Clubs, both of them are great organizations. They're organizations that I personally support, and I encourage everybody else to support also.
Definitely. I mean, the school board, people think the school board does not pay for a lot of this stuff.
No,
it's the different booster clubs that do.
The booster clubs do a lot, but the athletic department, a lot of people don't realize this, the school board does not give anything to equipment or facility. Well, they do some stuff with facilities. They do that. Yeah. But when it comes to this equipment the kids have to wear, and if you look in our locker room, we're not going to kind of skimp on equipment. We want our kids in good protective equipment. Yeah. And we're not going to put a junk helmet on a kid or a junk shoulder pads on a kid. We're going to keep it up to date. We're going to put the top of the line stuff on them to protect them. And our athletic department is ran solely on gate receipts. People complain, well, it's too much. $8 is too much for a football game. You got to remember, go to a movie sometime. It's probably more expensive than that, and it's not as entertaining as a lot of our football games or softball games we have. Also, that's really the only time we get money out of some people, and that all goes back. 100% of our money in our athletic department doesn't go to pay coaches. Right. It goes right back to what we put on the kids, the equipment, the helmets, the shoulder pads. the softball bats, softballs, and on and on.
Yeah.
That comes from the athletic department, and our athletic department is just like the booster club now. You know, we'll get money in, we spend it on the kids, and then it goes right back to nothing. Right. At the end of the year, end of the school year, our athletic department is down to really nothing. Our booster clubs are down to nothing. And then we got to turn around, we got to fundraise right back over again every year.
Starts every year.
Every year we got to redo it to keep our programs well equipped, and that's real important. It's nice to have nice stuff, but it's more important to have great equipment for your kids.
Kids are safe.
For safety reasons, more than anything. More important than anything, good equipment for safety, and all that comes from the support of people who come to football games, softball games, basketball games, and also the booster clubs.
All right. One more thing. August 25th, golf tournament.
August 25th is our annual quarterback club golf tournament. If you're interested, it's 4-man teams, $50 a team. The quarterback club gets, I think, $30 of that $50, and you can call out to the golf course, and they'll put your team on a sign-up list. I think we're only limited to 18 teams because of golf carts, but that's always a great day, a lot of fun. Great prizes are given away, and a chance for you to also give back to the quarterback club and have a good day also.
I saw one of your former quarterbacks on Facebook, Trey Harrington, recruiting players.
Yeah.
He's out there getting ready, Coach.
Trey Harrington was a great, one of our great quarterbacks we have, and won a lot of football games with Trey. And yeah, he's a young man now, and he's getting a team together to go play, I think. And hopefully anybody who plays the game of golf, or even if you don't play so much, it's a good day to hang out with everybody out there.
Sounds like he's stacking a team, Coach.
Could be.
Hey, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Excited to be back. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for watching the Coach Mack Show. We'll see y'all Friday night here, Pierce County, kickoff 7:30.
7:30.
All right. Thank you for watching. Have a great week, everybody. Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians! Whistle & Dixie Custom Framing and Unique Gifts and Cafe is located at 3742 Main Street in downtown Folkestone, Georgia. Lunches are served on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come join the fun food and fellowship whether you're a local, tourist, or a Royal fan. We also serve Bluebell ice cream, coffees, and lattes. While dining, feel free to browse around as we also have custom framing, train art, custom t-shirts, and unique gifts. Looking for a real lodging? You can also stay at the Chessy Caboose or the Peaks Cabin. Come see us.